Banks are collapsing. Jobs are collapsing. People are collapsing. So there's these things called economic cycles. Unfortunately, we didn't learn about economic cycles in school either. So unfortunately, we got to learn through trial and error what economic cycles are. So economic cycles is when things start to contract. Economic cycles are when things start to contract. Economic cycles are when things start to contract. So the SVB bank was just one sign. So the SVB bank was just one sign, right? Because the Bank of America's, the Wells Fargo's, and the JP Morgan Chase, those too big to fail banks, will be the ones that will take over literally the world. So we never learned about economic cycles. And in economic cycles, we got to know how to shift our mind and shift our money. What the wealthy do is put their money into real estate and insurance. They put their money into real estate and insurance. If you have your money in the bank, you may not have no money in the bank. So as a people, we got to know what to do with our money in the economic crisis. Again, if you have your money in the bank, you may not have no money in the bank. Now, if you ain't got no money in the bank, you ain't worried about money in the bank. But we have to have assets. So one of the long-lasting assets that's been around since Jesus' time, gold and silver. You can start buying gold coins, gold bars, silver coins, silver bars, right? You can also buy real estate. Now, the only thing is, in an economic downturn, real estate is an asset, so real estate goes down too, unfortunately, right? And then in economic downturn, if you do own real estate, so even with real estate, if you own a bunch of real estate and we're in an economic crisis and people losing their jobs, people can't pay rent. People will not be able to pay rent. So even with real estate, right, people got to now figure out, okay, how much reserves do I actually have just in case people cannot pay the rent for the next 6 months or the next 3 months or the next 18 months, right? Because even putting people out is going to cost money, right? So we got to understand, these cycles. In 1920s, there was one. 2008 was the other one. And now we're in one now, right? But now the difference is, for 1920 and 2008, we have more resources, right? We can put our money together, right? We can actually come together. We can unify more, right? And we can get the knowledge that we actually need. So I would say to start looking into silver bars, gold bars, putting your money in IULs, life insurance, whole life insurance, permanent life insurance, not term, permanent life insurance, whole life insurance, IULs, IVLs, right? Those type of things, right? Even in the stock market, right? People think their money's safe in the stock market. Even in the stock market, guys, in an economic downturn, what do you think people are going to do in the stock market? They're going to take their money out, right? Now, there's going to be a level of people that take their money out, but it's going to be a level of people that also put, more money in, right? But for the majority of people, they will be taking their money out, right? So we got to know this. The stock market's not even safe. Yeah, I got Facebook and Apple and Amazon and all that, right? But that's not even safe because you can lose literally all your money. You have a 401k, you can lose all your money in economic crisis, literally. And then you won't be able to retire, right? Interest rates are ridiculous right now. So the safest place is gold and silver and insurance, building your own bank, right? And years ago, decades ago, there was thousands and thousands and thousands of banks, right? Hundreds of thousands of banks. Now there's only thousands of banks. Probably the next 5 to 10 years, only going to be hundreds of banks. And I'm telling you, JP Morgan and a few other of the big wigs are going to be the too big to fail banks that will still be around. So the economic crisis, guys, we did not learn this in school. And unfortunately, we're going to learn it through trial and error.